Yo, I'm glad you like the song. Let's see, how'd it go? Like, don't you ever stop and think sometimes? Could have been us, could have been wonderful, yes, or yes. Found a new love in your life. Could have been us, could have been wonderful, yes, or yes. Something about it don't sit right. Could have been us, could have been wonderful, wonderful, yes. Something like that.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I see some people already in the chat. Hello, Trisha Star. Hello, she says I've been home due to ice storm. Oh, which gives me a little freedom to jump into chat rooms, not for extended periods though. Oh, Trisha. Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, it will sort itself out soon. Hey, Trisha. Talufa, Phil. Where's Phil? Is Phil anywhere here? Phil's not here yet. Hey, Paul Scatler, hello. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Michaela. Hey, Michaela. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. James Apperson. I've been enjoying your streams recently. Some very healthy conversations you have over there. And these are the conversations I think we need to be having, what we call the atheist community. Yeah. These are the kind of conversations that we need to keep on having, because sometimes you think you know it all. You think, oh, I've got all my eggs in the row, everything's all good. But you have to hear other perspectives. And atheists, we don't have any book that tells us what we should and shouldn't do. So it's good to rub minds with each other. So yes, I appreciate what you're doing over there. I'm great. Good to see you through the screen. I know we always see each other on the other place there. Okay, guys, I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to start. Let us gonna have a look at the brawling and fighting in the Jesus houses. I call them Jesus houses. They're nothing but business centers. And videos like these just continue to prove to me that there can't be anything good coming out of these places. How can the people who claim to be the representatives of Jesus, they tell you that as an atheist that you have no basis for your morals, right? You've got no basis. God is the grounding of all facts. They have it all. The presuppositionalists, the all the ones that believe in whatever they believe, but they say that it is the proof is in the pudding, right? That's what they say. The proof is in the pudding. They can talk the talk, but when it comes to it, the Bible does not give you a guide for every single aspect of your life. There are things in your life that the Bible does not give you answers for. So many. And that's why I say that the Bible is no longer fit for purpose. It's no longer fit for this generation. Once upon a time, it suited the people back in those days. But you see now, the Bible doesn't suit our generation. It's outdated, completely outdated. It needs to be revamped, updated. Just someone needs to do something. So, hey, I see someone in chat. Yes, we should, shouldn't we? Yes, absolutely. Hey, dog. Yes. Hey, good to see you, dog. Not the Battle of Jericho in the church. Battle of Jericho. Okay. Dog, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see here. Hmm. So, first video, rival clergymen fight with brooms at the Church of the Nativity. A clash erupted between clergymen at the Church of the. So, guys, most of these videos here, they not only involve just the everyday person, the lay people, also the uh the clergymen. These ones are fighting with brooms. They just finished using the broom to sweep the floor. Okay, I'll let you guys watch it. Ah, okay, what I will do, I will make sure to let me see. Let me get myself off here. Or no, make myself a bit smaller. So you guys can watch the fight in its full glory. And whatever you do, always remember that these are the people that are going to heaven, the place called heaven, that you and me aren't going because we don't believe in Jesus, right? We're not going there. But these are the people that are on their way to the heaven place, okay? So let's go. So they finish sweeping, and next thing you know, the fight breaks out. Look at this. It says they're armed with brooms, Greek Orthodox and Armenian clerics arguing over jurisdiction inside the church. These are the people that believe that Jesus died, rose again, he's coming back. They have it all. When it comes down to it, when you sit all these believers down, ask them same question, each and every one of them, you get different answers. When it comes down to it, this is what goes on. Let's watch. Gosh. What a disgrace. Yes, it's good to see you, dog. Hey, Phil. And you know what, guys?
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars,
These
wasting
people,
tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees?
these people will go on and it's
He feels
business
he's
as
the truth.
usual.
He said he built this,
Business as
him and
usual
his
the very
family,
next day.
and that nobody's going to question him about what he
Hey,
do.
Danisha.
A church service is interrupted by a heated dispute over money. The fight over
Of
church
course.
leadership and finances at St. Michael Baptist Church in Laplace was capped.
You know the other one that we just watched? That fight was over jurisdiction. When you narrow it down to its bare minimum, narrow it down to its bare minimum, it's usually about money. The chances are it's about money. The one who has more jurisdiction will get more money. The one who has less jurisdiction gets less money. It's usually about money. So the next one, this one is clearly about money.
Captured on video and posted to YouTube.
And WDSU reporter Gina Swanson is on your side with why the house of worship has now become a house divided.
A house of worship.
It's a scene you don't expect.
Sorry, guys. I like what she said there. The house of worship has now become a house divided. Unfortunately, lady, the house of worship has always been a house divided. Always has been. That's why there are many thousands of the thing called Christianity. So many. So many. Now, Christianity has become my own property. It's mine. My church. That's my church. God called me in the middle of the night, called me in my dream, and told me to start a church. That one's mine. Denominations are now named after the founder. That's where Christianity is at now. So it's always been divided, always. And it continues to divide further. Khalifa, hello. Damaster, hello. Yes, hello.
To see at a Sunday church service a fight in the pulpit.
It's a disgrace. It's uncalled for.
And yelling in the sanctuary, all as hymns kept playing at St. Michael Baptist Church. This house of worship has become a house divided. Members say it's the result of a dispute that started with questions over the church's finances.
I think they have a lot of preachers using the church for personal gain.
We asked questions regarding finances, and it was told to us, take what I give you, or you don't like what I'm giving you, go back where you came from.
And for those who did raise concerns,
we can't fellowship like we want because we was put out of the church. Myself with 49 other members, we got letters, because once you pass your opinion about something, it's like you can't be there.
Vanessa Jones says her family helped to found the church at its first location in Kenner.
My grandmother, I know they turned over in their grave behind all of this.
Members have even taken the matter to court.
The judge put a board of trustees to be in charge, and he's just like ignored that.
We contacted the church's longtime pastor, Leroy Sanders Sr., by phone at his home in Independence. Sanders tells us this is a small group of mostly new members causing trouble.
Of course,
whom are not
they're new members, guys.
The pastor says he has opened up the books to members as required by the church's charter. Sanders also says there's been no proof of wrongdoing with church money, and he plans to file a suit of his own against some members for defamation. In the meantime, members say they tried to have a separate service earlier on Sunday to avoid conflict, but that's when this altercation happened. One member who didn't want to be identified says the rift is causing their family to stay away.
We're not attending the church at this time because of the conflict. If the conflict wouldn't be going on, we would definitely
in the house
be
of
there.
God.
On your side in Laplace.
Look at the huge locks.
By the way, St. Michael's Baptist Church has two locations, one in LaPlace, another in Kenner. Jefferson Parish Judge Lee Faulkner heard the case July 6th. He did not rule, but ordered the members to work out the dispute among themselves. Some members are now saying had the judge made a ruling, last Sunday's conflict could have been avoided.
Okay, this is another church.
Get your hands off of me.
Guys, let me tell you, this is just proof that Christianity is in shambles. You wait. Some Christians will come along and tell you, these ones are not real Christians. These people here, these are not real Christians. No. They're not the real Christians. The real ones are over there. These are not real. But they cannot tell you who the real Christian is for some reason. But when they're doing something that they don't quite agree with, they're not real Christians. and you walk away from Christianity, you walk away, they will tell you that you were not a real Christian to begin with. So these people are not real Christians. You that walked away, you are not a real Christian. Who is the real Christian? Who is the person? Huh? Who is the anyway? What do I know? People seem to be seeing the scam. You know, dog, they see the scam, but guess what will happen? They will look for the next church available. Oh, this one doesn't quite work. Off they go to the next. You know why? They still believe in that character called Jesus. They still hold on to that character called Jesus. They think that, okay, if Pastor A hasn't got it, Pastor B must have it. If Pastor B hasn't got it, Preacher C must have it, right? And so that's how they continue. Just it's like a never-ending story. Okay, another fight. A church mojo. Hello. Says, what did you say? Yelling in the sanctuary. Jesus started that tradition. Paul Scotland, thanks for reminding me. Yes. Listen, most of these things, they're not very far off from the one that they worship. These people are not far off from the one they worship. Jesus King. Jesus. I don't know what right he thought he had. Turning over people's tables and things. Who did he think he was? He could have just told them nicely. It wasn't even his church to begin with. Just came and claimed it for himself. Oh, my father's house, the den of thieves. And who do you think you are? And guess what? After he turned the tables and did what he had to do, he's off. Because Jesus he was never stationary. He was moving from pillar to post, pillar. You, Jesus, you're not there to give the people a guideline, what they should and shouldn't do. Jesus never wrote a book. Jesus, who was God, walking here on earth with us, God came down as his son. He was here, never bothered to write a book. But yet he expects them to know what they should and shouldn't do. Before those people can be selling those things there, that means it was a custom that they had always done. They didn't just wake up one day and set their tables there. Jesus could have called them into a meeting. What are we doing here? Have a civil conversation. Oh, no. We've got to bring violence into this. These people that are doing all these fights, they hold grudges. Some of them, these grudges, but they worship one that holds the ultimate grudge. Two people eat a fruit. Two people eat a fruit, and God has the biggest grudge. To the extent he has to sacrifice his own child to somehow make himself less, I don't know, unhappy. But guess what? Jesus, they say he's coming back again. Jesus is going to come back in the robes of, the robes that Jesus is going to be wearing, he's going to be dripping in blood. He's going to be dripping in the blood of his enemies when he returns. So they're still carrying a grudge. Jesus and his daddy still grudgy up there. You know, can you imagine when Jesus finally decides, I'm coming back to earth? He will now put on his robe of blood. Thankfully, I don't believe these stories. But my goodness, I tend to go in these stories because once upon a time, I believed them. I was taught that they were all true. 40 years I was a Christian. So I know some people have said, "Oh, but these stories are not true. You mustn't try and make it as though they're true. You're propagating the beliefs." And no, I'm trying to show the ridiculousness of the stories. Watch Enlighten University. Okay, just to find out. Okay, are you going to be dropping the link? Oh, you want the link? Okay, I can drop the link if you want. If anyone wants to join, I'll drop the link. Hang on. But I'm not going to stop for too long today. I don't want to make these streams to go on for too long. So I will not stop for too long today. Let's see. Jesus is coming back as dog. Dog, I've missed you, honestly. He says, well, Jesus is coming back in an Arsenal football shirt and a pair of Nikes. Facts. So his Arsenal shirt will be dripping in blood, eh? All right, let's carry on watching these people fight. Okay.
Get your hands off of me.
The lobby inside Rock Church on East 62nd Street in Manhattan, Sunday at noon. As the pastor continues to lead his service in the sanctuary.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
The mayhem in the lobby is sparked by a struggle for control of the church following the arrest of the pastor, Danielle Impalia, on a petty larceny charge caught on video. Some church board members say stealing $238 in cash from the congregation's collection.
Caught red-handed.
A church elder pushed to the floor as one faction, demanding the resignation of the pastor, tries to gain entry to the sanctuary.
Excuse me. Hey, go on, hold the mic. Shut up. That's not your mic.
Once inside, it's a battle of the microphones as the pastor and his opponents try to shout each other down.
Wow.
This is illegal.
As the bewildered congregation watches on, some children among them, an attorney representing Pastor Impalia says his client will not comment on the petty larceny charge against him, nor will he resign.
This is all going to get sorted. What about the video? This is all going to get sorted out in court.
Do you have anything
There's nothing to say.
Police arrive, 8 officers strong, clearly confused about what on earth is going on here. Ultimately, no one is arrested in connection with the fighting, police say.
They're garbage. You are garbage.
But the bitterness endures as the standoff over the pastor accused of stealing from the collection plate drags on.
I think he should resign.
Get your hands off of me.
But after all this, the Sunday service continues.
Of course he will continue. Come on. The grift continues.
Somehow, on the Upper East Side, Steve Lankford, CBS 2 News.
Michaela.
Girl,
Hey,
it's the
Michaela.
Battle of Jericho. Oh my God!
This pastor was caught red-handed.
His hand in the cookie jar.
He was caught red-handed. Camera just caught him. But guess what? He lives to grift another day. His business as usual. He has even lawyered up.
I'm like, Miss Esther, haven't I always said that Christianity is the world's biggest scam?
It is.
It really is.
Michaela, Christianity is the biggest scam. I completely agree. How people have believed that a ghost somehow puts a baby up a virgin girl. Huh? How they have believed that. Listen, if you believe that, you believe
You're not lying.
anything.
I'm like, but Miss Esther, you're not overstanding.
What's understanding?
No, I'm like Miss Esther, because you have to understand, you have to walk by faith and not by sight.
Still by faith.
Oh, well, there it is.
Still by faith, not by sight.
No, they definitely see the ceiling.
And I bet some of these pastors, I can imagine that some of them will go to their churches and feel really there must be a holy anger coming from them when they see their counterparts flying 600 and something million dollar private jets, right? Having the best of all the
And they're being
luxuries.
ostracized by asking questions.
And
I
him,
mean, you can't question the pastor.
and I know, but look at him, right? All he stole was 200 and something dollars, right? And then you got the likes of what's his name? Kenneth Copeland, right? Creflo Dollar. You've got people like those in $650 million private jets. Can you imagine how he would feel? All I'm taking is just $250 for goodness sake.
And these are the people based off of these belief systems who are currently making laws. Here the United.
Oh, Michaela, what's happened to you? Guys, I've put the link out. If anyone wants to join, you can only, if you want to stop for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, it's absolutely fine. Let's chop this thing up. Church fights. What's happened to Michaela? Oh, is it me? Is it me? Can you guys see and hear me? Please let me know. Could it be me? Oh. Because I don't see anything happening here at all. Guys, let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay. Okay, it looks like Michaela is the one who's not here. I don't see her anymore. Okay. Hey, yellow paper. Hello, good to see you. Oh, you see me? Okay, good. It must be Michaela then. Thank you. Get walk. Hello. The best of cars, houses, jets, and not the adult toys. Well, I guess when you have lots and lots of money, what else would you buy with that money? You've got to pleasure yourself somehow. You pleasure yourself, but through food, through sex, through whatever means you pleasure yourself. So of course, adult toys, absolutely. This is my song. Your pastor has stolen from you all the day long.
Looking for a getaway at a good price? Somewhere warm, a cultural trip, or a foodie
Can you
adventure?
imagine? Their
We've put
pastor
all
has
our best
stolen from
prices to
them,
your
but
favorite
guess what?
destinations in one
This
place.
is my
Get inspired and search
story.
now on
This
Kayak.
is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
Jackson police were called out to a dispute at a church this morning.
course.
16 WAPT's Allie Ware tells us what had this congregation divided, leading to an unruly situation.
God is not the author of confusion. Worship services at New Galilean Church did not take place as normal Sunday morning. The members fighting and yelling over the current pastor. Things getting so heated, the police were called to get control of the situation.
This man was money hungry. He was after money because he came in spending money ridiculously. He was a manipulator. He was cunning.
Members say the current pastor took over the job when the previous pastor died. Some were unsure about him having the job from the beginning.
He built the church. He paid this church off. And you're going to let a Johnny come late to come in here and tear it up? When he was voted in, he only got 147 votes. On yes.
Hey, dog.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you. Michaela.
Yes, I'm here.
You were saying something and just went off.
Yes, my phone started reloading. I was saying.
Hey, D.
I'm like, what I was saying is, as I was saying, that Christianity is the biggest scam. And people, it's about time that people start seeing this stuff, because you and I are not surprised by this. This is not surprising at all. But for some people, for some reason, these are the people I was saying that are making laws currently with these belief systems in the
Yeah.
United States, and they're allowed to do so. And I'm like, so I just find it interesting that we see the scammery and the thievery and all of these things when these are the people making laws.
Hmm. And it's all based on the book, isn't it? All based
I'm
on
like,
that book.
I'm like, and in the United States, I'm not sure in the UK, there's supposed to be a separation of church and state, but for some reason, they get to make laws based off of their religious beliefs.
Well, the UK is, I would say they're way better than the US of A. But
No, they're not.
okay. Let me explain why what I mean. So there's this thing called there's the house called the House of, is it the House of Lords, where bishops get an automatic seat. Bishops in the Church of England get an automatic seat in the decision making houses of the UK. It's automatic. I think it's 20 something I think there's 20 something seats automatic, because once upon a time, I don't know where they got this rule from, the law from, but thankfully, after the last election, sorry, not election, uh, census, after the last census, the statistics are showing that the UK is no longer a Christian nation. There are less people, less Christians than there were 3-4 years ago, right? The majority of people are leaning on the side of no religion. And so Christians, the number of Christians
That's
has reduced.
amazing.
And the statistics are saying within the next 10 years, that number is going to continue to drop, and at an alarming rate. But sadly, Islam is growing here in the UK. All the other the other religions that aren't the
I'm like,
predominant,
so one down, so basically one down, two more to go, or should I say thousands more to go?
no, but the majority of people have no religion. So and I'm hoping that this House of Lords rule that they need to rethink it. Doug, you might have something to say about this House of Lords thing.
Well, the House of Lords is the House of Lords. They are rule makers, but they're not the be all and end all. The difference being between Britain and America. America, if you want to be president or even run for office, you need to believe in God. Otherwise,
that is true. Because I am not eligible to run for office. I actually could not run for office because I'm not religious.
That's correct. Where here you don't. So the religion itself hasn't got its claws into our government, which makes it seem a lot easier. But the problem that we have here, because religion here now is open from when it was centuries ago, when Henry VIII started the Church of England, so we could remarry basically, because the Catholics who were running the country then wouldn't let them remarry. It was against their religion, sacrilegious to do it. But now, so that opened the floodgates for a lot of the American Christians and the Mormons and the Jehovah's, all them American religions that are in it for the money. They're the door knockers. They're the people that knock on your door and preach on the corners and things like that. The Church of England, they don't do that. A little bit more backseat. But you'd be surprised the pies that religion has its fingers in all over the world, in all governments.
I'm like, so you're saying that I'm like, specifically with the Church of England, it's not it's not as okay. So it's really interesting that you said that, because here I'm like, and it's almost wild to me, because here in the United States, in America, like you named, their hand is literally in everything. I'm like, you can literally, I'm like, if there's a law passed, you can guarantee there's a Christian behind that law being passed. It is so intertwined that it's almost impossible to separate them, if you know what I mean. Like
That's
religion,
right.
specifically Christian, it's almost impossible to separate them.
That's right, and I always I see keep coming back to that picture of Donald Trump, with all them people leaning over to just get their hands on him. I've never seen anything so creepy in all my life. But here, believing in God isn't a requirement to become a member of Parliament or PM, which is the same as your congressmen and governors and whatever. It's not a requirement here. So,
but I
But
think
Doug,
it is
but
here.
Doug, but Doug, is that hasn't been the case all the while, right?
Well, to be fair, it's not a requirement in America, but you won't get anywhere in America if you don't.
I'm like,
believe
I
it.
won't. That's the thing, and I know that to be. I've had people live because I speak out against a lot of things, and people have told me to run for office, and I'm like,
oh yes.
But the thing is, I'm not going to get voted in. They're not going to. First of all, I'm too radical. so they're definitely not going to vote me in. I do not see myself being voted in any political offices. It doesn't matter if it's state. I do live in a little bit of a more liberal state, but even for most progressives and and people who are more on liberal leaning, I am very radical, even for them. So I do not see myself ever getting elected into office. I just don't see it happening.
What is normally a requirement here is a degree in politics, in some sort of social politics. You don't need that in America. Any idiot can run for Congress.
I mean, Donald Trump was the president, so there's that. You don't.
Yeah, we've seen it. You've got what's her face. She just about won it back her seat. And
Green.
No, not
Green.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. The other one.
Oh, I cannot stand this lady.
Who didn't even have a high school diploma when she got into office.
Who is that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay.
No. He's talking about someone else.
Yeah, the other one with the glasses. I forgot her name. I've been out of business so long.
I don't know.
Someone will know it.
Yeah, someone in chat would know.
I think she's Colorado.
Doug, just 1 second, guys. I'll put the link if anyone wants to join in the conversation. Please do feel free. Even if you stop 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, just the link is there. Let's chat. Sorry,
but you guarantee that 90% of these church leaders in America are corrupt. They're in it for the money.
A good amount of them.
Lauren Boebert, that's it.
And they have their hands in politics right now. Human rights are being legislated right now due to people's religious beliefs.
Oh, and that's right.
Like human rights are literal, and I've been saying it. Human rights are on the ballot as we speak, and many minorities are experiencing a lot of things right now. And I happen to be a part of many different minorities, and I'm like, and due to people's religious beliefs, specifically Christianity, there are so many things that are happening right now, and literally human rights are being rolled back as we speak. And I'm like, and you cannot, and people have tried this, when I've said this, they've tried to disconnect it, but you actually cannot disconnect the influence that Christianity has on these laws being made, or the rollback of historical protections. So I'm like, for people who have historically been disenfranchised from religion itself, you can actually separate them.
I read a book. I believe it is being turned into a show now called The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
Yeah.
It's about this dystopia of how religion will take over the world and how the world will live under these religious laws, and America's basically there as it is. You know, you can open a church of anything in America, and obviously people are looking for
all over the world.
There's tens of thousands of. You can't do it here.
Doug, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know that lots of people would usually ask about you in the chat. And one of such persons is Trisha Starr. She never failed. She would always ask, have you heard from Doug? Have you contacted him? Sometimes I used to think, okay, look, I better make sure I get on top of it before Trisha is on my case again. So, Trisha,
would you like an
Doug is
update on my
here.
life?
Yes, we would like, and I'm sure the people would like to.
After 6 months in hospital, I'm home now. I've actually moved into a new flat. Me and Mrs. Dog, we've separated amicably. It's not fair on her. I had a stroke, and not long after getting over that, this happened, and this is permanent now. I'm paralyzed. I can walk a tiny bit, but nothing works below the waist. I have to stick things in me to empty every few hours, and you know, I'm playing the cards I'm dealt with. I've been dealt.
I hope you feel better, Doug.
I feel great. You know, mentally, I feel a lot better.
Well, that's
than I have in a long time. It's to do with. It's a strange thing, suddenly becoming disabled. It's given me a focus, a sort of a goal to aim at. You know, I have to watch what I drink now, watch what I eat, and you know, everything is a chore. Even making a cup of tea, getting to the kettle, turn it on. It's an absolute chore. And it's given me a different lease of life. It's mental. Thank you, Tricia. Good to see you lot as well. But yeah, so I'm young, free, and single, but my dick don't work.
He's young, free, single, but the dick doesn't work. But hang on a second.
Oh my God!
Hang on, Doug. But from the top all the way up works, right?
Oh yeah, that works.
There you go. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need that's all you need. Other things work. Come on.
The loss of the use of it is pretty. I'm not saying that because it's numb anyway. It's dead, so it feels like I'm touching someone else's. And I don't know if I want to see it erect. I don't want to be feel like I'm touching someone else's erect penis because I'm a staunch heterosexual. I've got nothing against any trans or anything like that, but me, I'm heterosexual.
Okay, so what I would say is, right, it's been 6 months, and it's a new phase.
I went into hospital June the 8th, and came out January the 16th, 3 days before my birthday. I came out.
Oh, when's your birthday?
Oh, that was last month.
Oh, my birthday is in 12 days.
Oh, we'll have a big party for you.
Valentine's Day.
But yeah, a part of it, as far as the ED goes, I've tried the Viagra. They've tried me. That doesn't work. I've gone on the aggressive one, and I've gone to the level. I've taken there's a more aggressive version of Viagra that can be used for this sort of disability. And I've been up to the level where if I take any more, my heart will explode.
No, we don't want
Did
that.
they just turn into the Afro-humanist after dark?
Yeah, they don't work either. Injections is next. They try putting injection, and if they don't work, it's an implant that you blow up before sex.
Oh, wow.
Whether it's liquid up. I don't want an implant. I'll abuse the shit out of that. Being a bloke, I'll be pumping that up to 3 million psi.
There'll be no stopping you. Every second, dog will be pumping that thing.
Big enough so you can make a balloon poodle or a balloon giraffe. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I would abuse that sort of thing. But I'm all right. I'm 54.
You know what I might suggest. I might suggest maybe we could go to a church somewhere, get one of the pastors to lay his hands on.
Yeah, it's only them African
lay
churches
his hands,
into all
lay
that
his. No,
stuff.
1 or 2 pastors would try. They would say, okay, they would put their hands on there. Have you not seen videos? I've got
Healing
videos.
in the name of Jesus.
I've got videos of actual pastors actually putting their hands on men's dicks. There was one was praying for this man. He keeps cheating on his wife. So the pastor is praying for the demon of cheating to get out of the phallus, right? So
and speaking, Miss Esther, I'm like, I want to see if you've seen this video. There's a video out there I saw a few years ago, but it just kind of makes me cackle every time I see it. So, like, have you ever seen the video? It's like, it looks like actually I think she's a Nigerian woman in the video, ironically. And
right.
and there's a pastor. I'm like, and she's talking about how how a demon came and slept with her in her sleep. Hold on, I cannot say this with a straight face. And so he starts to spray holy water on her, and then she starts to hold her, and then she starts screaming, and he bops her in the head and makes her faint. It's so crazy, but that really is a video out there.
We probably have seen it over here. We've seen all sorts over here. Yes,
What?
it is Michaela, Trisha Star. Yes, it is Michaela. And Gerwalk says, happy belated birthday,
Thank you, Gerwalk.
dog.
Yeah, I don't know
thank
what
you.
demons
Happy
inside of me.
upcoming birthday.
If there is a demon inside of me, I don't know what demon's inside of me. Well, whatever demon it is, it's made me paraplegic anyway. Fucking demons.
Okay, can we go back to this video?
Yeah.
And have a look at the church fight. Otherwise, I know what's okay. So Trisha Star says, Michaela, you're also from the foundation of Esther's Journey. Dog, you're also from the found. You know, these are my people. These when we first started, these were the people, right? And to have you all back here. If we start, you all know we won't finish. We won't finish.
If anyone's here, in chat who I usually subscribe to, and you're not getting my subscription fee, that when the bank accounts and divorce is sorted, that'll all go back to normal. But that's all been frozen at the moment till everything's sorted out. So I apologize for not paying my way.
Paying your way?
I subscribe to a lot of channels. And have done for years, a lot of channels. Only a couple of quid a month or whatever.
You've been in hospital for 6 months. Come on.
Oh no, that shouldn't have stopped it paying, should it? It still comes out my bank account.
Gosh,
but it's having me
proper English.
All the accounts have been frozen at the moment, just while
Miss Esther, you know what has me screaming? The guy in the video at the top looks exactly like my cousin, and that.
Oh my! Hey, Phil.
Hi, I know. Good to see you here. Hi, Michaela.
Hello.
How are you doing? Oh, you're all doing.
We're talking about scheming, thieving Christians.
Oh yeah.
No, Michaela.
Big grifters.
Brawling Christians.
The Battle of
Oh,
Jericho.
yeah.
That's right. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the day we voted him out. Over 400 people voted him out.
The church board voted to terminate the pastor in a meeting Saturday, but not every member is behind that decision.
And I don't want him to go anywhere because if he leaves, I'm leaving.
Andrew says she's been attending New Galilean since she was 8 years old, and that some of the congregation are spreading rumors and lies about what the pastor does with the church's finances.
He's a godly man and he's not doing anything wrong, and I wish that they would.
Huh?
The pastor was escorted out of the church Sunday, and the board says he won't be back. But others who were in support of the pastor say they are not backing down. In Jackson, Alabama 16, WAPT News.
Well, New Galilean Church is located on Flagchapel Road, and JPD spent most of the morning trying to defuse the dispute between fighting church members.
So much for democracy.
I mean, if the house of Jesus, there's fighting going on in this is where they call God's house, the temple of God.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're a Christian, you're a temple of God,
You're
right?
a temple, yeah.
So
but they
when
still
they
call
go
the
to
building too.
No, hang on. When they go to church, when they go to church, right? All the individual temples of God all come together to form the
house of God.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So inside the house of God are the temples, right? But the temples are fighting. God's temples that they're fighting. But have you all noticed something? Even if a pastor is caught in the act, right, stealing on top of a woman, raping, something, whatever, have you all noticed there'll be people that will support him? They're ready to even in the face of the wrongdoing.
Evidence.
Did you all see the video of one that was circulating? This woman came forward and said, "You raped me when I was a child on the floor in your office," right? She came with her husband and she announced it. And when the church heard this thing, they started praying for the pastor. Did you all see that video?
No, I can't remember seeing that.
I haven't seen the video, but it doesn't surprise me.
But they could have solved the problem, right? Remember what happened in the book of Acts when they were trying to decide to get a replacement for Judas, and something else we read before where they pull out, draw straws. That's where the Holy Spirit God speak through drawing the straws. I live a democratic, but
drawing straws.
The wrong place. It's always the wrong place for a woman to bring stuff like that up in church, because obviously in religion, women are treated quite poorly. You know, it's a patriarchal society. It's very misogynist. It goes back to, you know, you were saying about the Eve. It was her that persuaded Adam to eat the apple, which makes women inherently evil.
Evil, yeah.
In the church. So this is why women are always treated. The only way, you know, if you're raped by a pastor, go to the police.
And though usually, as I did the other day talking about Proverbs about this guy named Mark. The messenger, and he was talking about women being the strange woman, and he was blaming women for seducing men. So they will blame the woman for seducing the pastor. That's how they operated. She's downright sick.
She's Jezebel, isn't it? She's a
Yeah,
Jezebel.
yeah,
So,
yeah. They're gonna call her
yeah.
Jezebel.
She's a
Hey,
Jezebel.
makeup man and son. Hello, Dean Krieger.
She has a whole spirit, is what they would say.
Oh, a whole spirit. Okay. Right. All right, let's see this other video. This is about I don't know. I cannot stand this particular pastor. What's his name? What's this guy's name? You see him in a minute. I can't stand him. The way he talks. He just thinks that he's somehow the one that has all the answers. So this is someone, I think, someone who's been online talking about him and trying to expose him, as they always do. They will always have someone who breaks away and trying to expose, So here he is. Right, let's have a look at this.
Get him down. Play the tape. Play the tape. I'm right here. Sit him. I'm right here. I'm right here. Call the police if you gotta move me. Play the tape. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to hear Bible. I don't want your mouth.
What's this guy's name again?
He got over social media, all that bad mouth. Now, all of a sudden, he needs to hear the tape. Let's deal with Bible. In the beginning was the word. Everybody be quiet.
So this guy has been trying to expose him all over social media, right? Now here he comes saying, oh, he's got the loud mouth over social media. But here he is now. Where's his loud mouth? Now he wants to play the tape, right? That any evidence he has should come from the Bible. Anything he has to say now should come from the... Can you see the deflection here? He's trying to tell the people that if you're not reading from the Bible, anything you've got, any evidence you've got, any evidence of my wrongdoing, it's not permissible because it's not from the Bible. Yes, Trisha, it's Gino Jennings. That's him.
Gino Jennings.
Jennings.
Oh, Jennings. Oh.
Jennings. Anyway, let's see. To my viewers.
All right, security, usher him out. Security, usher him out. Usher him out. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
Oh, God.
Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
Is that his phone? They take his phone from him.
Wow.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
Yeah.
Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out.
Wow.
Usher him out.
The children there.
Just a minute. Nobody is coming in First Church and think you're going to take over First Church. Not here. Not here. Not here. Wait a minute. Baptist, if he wants to stay, he can stay if he wants. If he want to go, let him go.
But none of this is new, Esther.
Can you see that he didn't give the guy a chance to speak?
None of this is new. None of this is new anyway, because there's so many thousands of different opinions on Christianity anyway, and thousands of different outlooks on it, and manipulations and interpretations. It's just become a ridiculous religion. It's just become so stupid. They're always arguing between themselves what the Bible means or what the Bible says, and you get these Seventh-day Adventists, and you get the even more ridiculous like the creationism. They say the earth was created, and it's just know that is utterly a ridiculous concept, but they peddle it anyway, and people. The sad thing is that people believe them. The world is getting stupider. It really is. There's so much nonsense conspiracy going. All this COVID, anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers, and people just don't listen to reality anymore. They just go beyond it, and no wonder people are looking elsewhere, i.e., God, some sort of
character.
You know, some sort of what's going on. Beam me up, God.
A lot of these places are cults.
They're
where
all
they can't question, right? Now, you have somebody who is saying, play the tape. There must be something in the tape he wants you all to hear. But guess what? Pastor Jennings just quickly shut that down quick. He shuts it down quick because no, we're not having that being spread about here, right? You would think that at least some of these people will ask questions. Maybe they will afterwards, you know?
This is they're all cults. Going to church is the very definition of attending a clan meeting. A cult, you know, anywhere where you go and you sing songs and you perform rituals, i.e., you know, kneeling and drinking and eating the body of Christ and things like that. It is a very cult, and this is the sad thing about it. You know, if their God they portray is all seeing, all knowing, all doing, all the time, everywhere,
all failing,
and but these people say that this is what God does. Why can't you just kneel in? Why can't they just kneel in their front room? Why do they need to go to these buildings and give them all their money, give them their tithes, their 10% of their wages, and things like that? You know, they sort of contradict themselves just by taking the money.
Exactly.
Right? If you believe in God, and you believe He's all known and everywhere, all at once, watching your poo and things like that.
watching you have sex. Yes.
Well, you should be able to kneel in next to your bed and pray, and then be done with it. But no, you have to go to these places and perform these rituals, and give these people money so they can buy their flash cars and mansions. And that, don't get me wrong, some of it does go out to the community and helps the homeless. You know, you get a lot of that in Britain, but I only got my internet up and running today because everyone's obviously here. We you know, we got a cost of living crisis, so everyone's going for better deals. So all these internet providers, all their people are busy. So it took me like a month to get mine fitted.
Internet, yes.
And all I was stuck with was Freeview TV.
Oh no!
And it's all the adverts. It's all like charity. It's all charity adverts, and you know, sponsor a pangolin. What the fuck's a pangolin? It looks like a cross between a rat.
What's a pangolin?
I don't know. It looks like a cross between a rat,
an animal,
and a fucking anteater. It's a weird creature, but apparently it's the most trafficked animal on planet Earth.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's used in its scales are used in mythical medicine. You know, Chinese remedies and things like that, and it's meat and things. But you know, sponsor Bogway as she walks to the well, 3 miles to the well, to pick up dirty water. And then she carries this water back on her head 3 miles. Sponsor her £2 a month. Will help. What are you going to? What? It goes nowhere. That money, 90% of it goes into the pockets of the charity. Only 10% of it, of your £2, so 20 pence a month, will go to Bogway to get, I don't know whether a bike or clean water. But you know, you're filming this young girl carrying them, carry her for her. Don't be filming these people. I'm trying to, but religion, more so here, in the UK, they will get out in the community and help the community, especially like village churches and things like that. Most of that will go to, obviously, a lot of it will go to the church, the running of the church, and things like that. But you got to understand as well, everything that they pay for is tax free. Everything is tax free. It's all tax refundable, the electricity, water, gas, heating, it's all tax refundable. So it doesn't cost much to, and obviously these institutions run off donations, donation run.
But what I don't understand is, how is it that God creates the heavens, the earth, the universe, He creates everything, but somehow cannot give these men money to fund his own work? I don't understand that. If it is God's work, then now the proof for me, if someone says, I am called by God, God called me in the middle of the night to do his work, the proof should be that when God called me, he deposited a couple of millions, a couple of thousands in my account. So I wouldn't need to beg anyone, I wouldn't need to borrow, wouldn't need to steal, wouldn't need to grift, right? How does God give you a task? How does God employ you for his work and yet tells you go and get the money and then punishes people for not bring? Guys, do you remember, I don't know if some of you know the story in the Bible, Ananias and Sapphira, right? Ananias and Sapphira were part of the church, the young church. This was the church that started to spring up after Jesus had left and gone. So they all would come together. It was like communal, it was a communal sort of thing. If I have, I share. You bring, you share, that sort of thing. And so these people sold their property. Ananias and Sapphira sold their property, right? And brought a portion of it to church. They didn't bring everything. They brought a portion of it. Now Paul asks them, where is the rest of, where is, oh, this is all of it. And do you know that God, no, is it the Spirit of God or it was God, struck Ananias dead because Ananias didn't bring to the church all of the proceeds from his selling of his own, it was his own property. Nowhere does the scripture tries to even give us a reason why Ananias would keep some money for himself. Could it be that something happened? Could it be that a need came up? Was it his child was sick? Were they trying to save for a rainy day? It would make sense. But God just killed him. Then his wife came along after. And the wife says, they asked the wife exact same question. And of course, because the two of them, husband and wife, have agreed that we are not going to tell, right? That we kept some for ourselves. She says exactly the same thing. And what happens? It's the words that came out of Paul's mouth. That he says, oh, the feet of the people that took your husband to be buried are coming to get you. And straight away she fell down and died. Never mind when they tell you that in the Old Testament, God was good in the Old Testament, yeah? God was evil in the Old Testament, but he somehow changed in the New Testament. But here you have a God killing people over their own property because they didn't bring all of it to. It's your mission, your task, your job. You fund your. It's crazy. And these people read this book and say it's a holy book. What is wrong with these people?
It's a book of moral corruption, period.
That's right. You got to understand, Esther, this the moral corruption has come later on in life, because back in biblical times, your tithe was a portion of your fruit or your vegetables or your crops, and in extreme cases, the odd human sacrifice.
Gosh.
Well, this is what they did. But how it's turned to cash, I don't. Is through corruption. Because people can realise they can make money out of this. Let me form a church for free, get it registered, get people in there, get 10% of their wages just for whaling one day a week, a couple of hours on a Sunday. But when I was saying that, there are churches to help, there's always a downside to that. So your meal, if you're homeless, your meal is always at the other end of a sermon. They will not just give you it. You'd have to sit through a sermon first and have all these nutters touching you and whatnot, and then you get your meal.
I mean, look, you're quite right, Doc. Because look at the story of the young boy that brought his 2 fishes and 5 loaves, right? Everyone was seated there hungry, but of course they had to sit through Jesus's Sermon on the Mount. They didn't bother to count the women and the children because those didn't matter. Now this young boy comes with his. Can you imagine that his mom was the only one in that whole crowd of people that said, you know what, we are going to be there for a long time. Let's take up some food with us. Nowhere does that scripture even give credit to the mother who packed up this little food for this boy, or better still, the boy. We're not even told his name. A boy brought some fish and thingy, and then Jesus multiplied it, and Jesus did this, and Jesus did. Everything goes back to Jesus because Jesus always has to be the hero of the story. But the one who produced, if that boy hadn't brought you fishes and bread, at least have some, just mention his name. Let's at least know who he was, right? So that we can know, okay, this is a boy, just a boy. It's terrible.
These religious people, they're proud that they're religious, and they're proud of their religion, and they're proud of their Bible and what it says and things like that. When
it was Peter.
They should be absolutely ashamed. They should be thoroughly ashamed of the damage that religion has done to humanity throughout its history. They gone back to sacrifice, burning witches. And that's from very early on in the Old Testament. I think it's in Genesis. Is thou shalt not bear a witch to live. So these poor women were getting dragged about and burnt and killed and whatnot. And there's people getting killed now. There's people getting beheaded for blasphemy in these Muslim states. Same God. In Africa, there's Christians killing gays now. And trans people, and they should be ashamed, thoroughly ashamed of what that religion represents. It doesn't represent reality. It doesn't represent humanity. It represents nothing.
Violence. Essentially, is what it represents. It's violence.
Yeah, I saw your private chat, the Book of Violence 1 and 2.
I mean, it starts off with violence. 2 people eat a fruit, yet we're told that he is a merciful God somehow. But they eat a fruit and he can't. I don't know, for some reason, his mercy was lacking on that day. His mercy it just disappeared. Then he punishes these 2. Not only did he punish these 2, now everyone who comes after them gets to partake in the punishment, including newborn babies. As you're born, straight away you're partaking of this fruit eating shenanigans. He didn't even stop there, right? He didn't stop there. Oh, he decides, okay, let me go and make some more better punishment for after the afterlife, right? Where they'll be punished even further. These blockheaded humans who didn't want to, listen to me. He now creates the place called hell. But never mind, he loves you so much. He He created the loophole for you by sending his darling son, Jesus. All you have to do is receive him. Just take him, ask him into your heart, and you get an automatic pass to sit right next to Daddy up there. Ugh.
Well, the hell we've gone through this many times. The hell that we talk about, I didn't come out till 1300 with Dante. He brought that out, and it came to fruition in the first King James Version Bible. But all that is to do with control through fear, and that's all. That's all religion is. It's power and control.
That's right. I agree.
And don't get me wrong. Everyone wants a bit of power. Everyone wants a bit be in charge and a bit, and it was from a very early age. They knew the power that women have. Women are a lot stronger than men. Not physically, obviously, but mentally, and women are a lot better than men. They're the ones it's the wives that sort the money out and keep home. They do all these tasks, and men can't do a quarter of what women do. And these single mums will hold down 3 jobs and still look after their children. Women men knew this as far back as the Bible, so they repressed them through religion, and they've been repressed ever since. And I'm glad women are getting their shout now and again. And it's sad it took so long, but men are starting to realise that women are far stronger than they'll ever be.
Well, I guess
and morally as well, women are a lot better than men. Men are wankers. We are absolute tossers where it comes to in real life.
I guess
we bumble our way through it. Women are quite cocksure, and they will they'll think the way through reality. We just bumble our way through. I'm going down.
Okay,
watch out football. That's the way it is.
Look at Doug giving us all the credit. I like that. Yes,
I love that.
Take your flowers, ladies. Just take your flowers.
Women can grow a human being inside them. How cool is that? Women can grow a human being inside them. That is amazing shit.
Can bring forth life.
But religion knew this, so they made women the bad, the evil, and misogyny has ruled ever since.
Doug, you're not understanding. It's the thing between your legs. That is that's where the power is. The thing that hangs between your legs. That's the phallus. The phallus bearing people, right? Those people, those are the ones that God says you all are
doesn't work. So it doesn't matter to me, does it?
But you've got one still, so you're still the head.
I keep worrying because you've heard of that saying. You've heard of that saying, haven't you? You use it or you lose it. Yeah. You've heard the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to shrivel up and fall off like an umbilical cord.
Okay, you know what? Let's
at some point.
Let's carry on with the fights. Okay, the brawling. Okay,
the battle of Jericho.
Shrivel up and fall off. My dog, come on.
I had a fight in school with that. That was a battle.
The battle of the evangelical.
Oh, please. Why are you sweating so hard if it's God's house?
God's
Why
tent.
you not let him speak? Your arrogance.
We will usher you out of here.
Oh, in his church, women and men sit separately.
Because I'm sure Mr. Vegas will get over social media and say, well, it's supposed to be church, and you're not supposed to put nobody out. Let's get some Bible. Put such a one out of your midst. Read
I bet when he gets home, he'll say, "Wow,
Are you sick of having issues with your
I
webinars,
dodged the
wasting
bullets."
tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If
Oh, this one is nice. Well, not nice, but I mean, this one,
This is love.
guys, just
Not that we love
this isn't a
God,
fight, but
but
just
that God
pastor is
loved
preaching.
us and sent his son to be the propitiation for our sin. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to love one another. We've come to know love. God is love.
No, it's true. What?
Oh my God! Wait! Let me take that back so you guys can see. Oh my goodness! Somebody wants a fight. Whoa! Look at this. Oh my.
This is love. Not that we love God, but that God loved us.
Oh yeah.
And sent his son to be the propitiation for our sin. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to love one another.
What if that was God on the phone?
Oh, Jesus.
We've come to know love. God is love.
In analogy, hello. Oh gosh.
God loves us enough to send us to burn if we don't worship him. That's enough.
Whoa! And she sat
Oh,
there.
he just damaged the woman's phone. Really?
Oh,
And back
that's the love of God damaging
hang on.
property.
Okay, listen. This says, help us to keep the bonds of love. Please turn off your cell phone so that this does not happen. This does not need to happen again. That's the message.
He could have said that.
That's the message.
He could have said that
there.
from pulpit. But he could have said that from the pulpit. Can you please mute your phone or something? But he talking about the love of God. Yeah, that's how the love of God is worked.
Okay, so
abusive.
nanology says could be a prank. Could be, but there are pastors who would actually do that. I've known a couple. The church where we went, years, just going back years now, we went to this church, and the pastor was so angry. One day he said he has noticed that some people, they only put £1 coin in the offering collection thingy, right? And he said that God is bigger than your £1. That it is disrespectful to give God £1. Who do you think you are? God has taken care of you, and he has done this. And all you can do is bring £1. So he said, look, anyone from next Sunday, anyone who he sees bringing £1 and dropping in the, because everyone has to come out and you dance to the front and drop your. He said anyone who's dropping this £1 in there, that he will walk you out of the church. He will tell you keep your £1 and go. He will walk you out. So these men they do things like this. So prank or not, it's possible. They
She could have been on the phone to a dying mother or an ill child in hospital. It could have been anything.
Could be anything. And you see,
that sort of thing has a knock-on effect. It would have a knock-on effect if it was me, because I would knock him on his ass.
She I'm sure she was trying to tell the person, look, I'm in church, right?
Yeah, there's no need for that.
There's no need.
Aggressive arrogance at all. Just because he lost.
Well, I think that's right on brand for Christians. I'm like, don't you remember they're the very violent and aggressive Jesus worship?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Right, but don't forget Jesus went in the temple and bit and cast out the money changers. So he will claim, Jesus, I got reason to do this. Jesus and cast out the money changers. saying this is a house of prayer and blah blah blah.
Which is
They will come out
ironic
some apologetic.
because when I was growing up, I always was taught in church that money was the root of evil, and here we see every time that was one of the only things they were truthful about.
These people, these cults, and these religious are full of hatred. Of hatred of atheists, of trans people, or women who have power and things like. They hate it. They're all misogynist. There's a guy on YouTube. His name's
Misogyny, transphobia, and homophobia are the divine three.
Absolutely. There's a guy on YouTube called Matt Powell, and if you watch any of his videos, he is one nasty piece of work. And he's only young. He's only a young lad. He must be 25, and is homophobic. It's wrong. And see, this is where America is lacking lately. Because when you get nutters like that, they used to be shot. It used to be like if you had a bad president, he'd be assassinated by a nutter. But America doesn't do that anymore. They let these people run riot. But where religion is concerned, there's a lot of hatred there of people who won't comply. And it's only going to get worse because as it's on the decline, which it is on the decline, the people are waking up now, and they're and obviously these atheists, they're not passing this sort of dragging their children to church and things like that, and they're passing on there. So as the generations will roll on, religion will eventually die off.
Die out, thankfully. Michaela.
We're talking hundreds of years, Esther, maybe even thousands.
Oh yeah, no, not in our time. No, not in our time. Michaela, can I beg you a favor, please?
Yes.
You see the comments you're putting in the private chat?
Yes, which one?
All the comments you're putting in the private chat. Can you please put your comments in the main chat? These comments are really, really, they're really getting me in here. And it's not fair. There's only us who can see these. Michaela is going off in the private chat. She's like, child, please, let Jesus speak through you. She says, God loves us enough to send us to burn if we don't worship him. That's some narcissistic love. She's going off in here. It's not fair. Only 4 of us get to see this. So, Michaela, go off in the main chat, please. All right, let's watch this fight. Oh my, this particular one, this priest. It says the priest stops reading a psalm and points at the man, telling him that you are trespassing before the parishioners swarm the intruder. Okay, let's have a look.
You are in trespass. You need to leave this church right now. If somebody in this security guards. I'm not trespassing. Put your head on. I'm not trespassing. You are trespassing.
He's obviously drunk.
You're from a minister in his.
But do we know what he's angry about?
Probably his son was abused by him.
There you go.
I'm like,
there you go.
I feel like like someone did not offer him a lot of money, like you were saying. It has to be money or something. He just looks like a money hungry man. That's what he looks like.
Michaela, that's the Catholic Church. You know what the Catholic Church you know what they're known for, right?
Oh, pedophilia. Well,
there we go.
Well,
So
it's only because it was made famous through them, but you know,
it happens everywhere,
millions
doesn't
of
it?
paedophiles around the world. It's just that
That's right.
But the only reason it was made famous by the Catholics was because they move their paedophiles around the world. They move them away from out of justice, out the area where they can be prosecuted, and they'll move them to another country to do something, to do it in another country. You know, they never answer. I mean, it was only 96. They apologized for locking up Galileo. They locked Galileo up because Galileo worked out that the Earth revolves around the sun, and you know we're in a solar system, and he worked out basically what we know now, and he was made to well, he basically died in prison.
Oh no.
We look at the Catholic past and the Spanish Inquisitions and the atrocities that they've caused throughout history, and the papalism, the papacy back then, years ago, it could be bought like a presidency. You know, if you had the money, you could buy it. You can make yourself pope. It's how corrupt it was back then. It was all it's still all about the money, and
it's all still corrupt.
And the Catholics are it'll be a couple of 100 years, and they'll apologise for the Holocaust. Their involvement in that, and it was Holocaust week last week. Friday was the Remembrance Day of people of the Holocaust and what happened. And they blame Hitler, but Hitler was only gone by what the anti-Semitic Catholics were putting in his mind. That's what they were, and they'll apologise for that in a couple of 100 years' time. They'll apologise for their involvement in it. They persuaded Mussolini to go on Hitler's side, and he invaded Spain, didn't he? He was the president of Italy back then. Well, they all come unstuck in the end. But the Catholic Church are very good at brushing things under the carpet. You know, no one's heard anything about the thousands of Indigenous children that found their graves in Canada a couple of years ago.
I bet
no one hears about that anymore. There's not what's come of that.
I bet there's still many more graves that are still yet to be found
all over the world. There was 560 odd found in Ireland.
How do you
with these young women?
How did they do this? So many children just
they've got the money to. They're the only country in the green. Every country owes money, owes people money. America, I think, has reached 30 trillion. America's world debt is more than all the countries' world debt put together. And the only country in the green is Vatican. It's the Vatican City. The only country with money.
Can we carry on with this next video? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This is an old video, but it's very relevant.
The St. James African Methodist Episcopal Church was part of a long simmering feud.
Bright skies couldn't chase away clouds of contention that have gripped this church nearly 2 years, since the Reverend Hubert Armstrong was appointed its pastor by the church's national body.
We are complaining that we feel that he is a poor church administrator and has poor people skills.
Others say Reverend Armstrong is unaccountable with church funds and doesn't consult or inform members. Attendance has dropped.
They're leaving. There's nobody here. We're not getting any money. We're losing the church. We're so in debt. It's pathetic.
This weekend, several church trustees took matters into their own hands. While Reverend Armstrong was being reappointed at an AME conference, they changed the locks on church doors. He reacted today by dismissing 2 trustees. Then emotions erupted.
And you are suspended.
Well,
You're
thank
fired.
no, you don't.
Today by dismissing 2 trustees. Then emotions erupted.
And you are suspended.
Well,
You're
thank
fired.
no, you don't.
She hit me. He hit me. She hit him first, man. Get out of my way. Let it go. Let it go.
St. Paul police officers were called to the church, but soon left when assured tempers had cooled. Later, Reverend Armstrong was handed a key. Trustees say they'll press to have Armstrong removed when the presiding elder visits in October. Pastor Armstrong vows he's not leaving.
I will serve until the bishop says.
You have your appointment.
I have my appointment. I have the incorporation of the church.
Bill Hudson reporting for CBS News.
The sheriff of a southeast Oklahoma.
Why are these old black men who are supposed to be singing quartet music for the Lord fighting in church?
My point is, why you do this if somebody's gonna keep saying, I don't need nobody telling me nothing. I don't need nobody telling me nothing.
I don't need nobody telling me. You don't hear the song is you listen. You don't know that.
It reminds me so much of the church I grew up in as a kid.
These are supposed to be practicing for, I don't know what they're practicing for. Right? These are the men. No, there's no women about. The men. They're here supposed to be practicing. I don't know what on earth this is about.
No, the women would have had things in order. Period.
All right. Let's have a look.
I know that. I was listening. Do you understand? I'm listening to the harmony. I'm listening to these 2 men right here. I'm the one that got to sing with them. You ain't got to sing with them. But then you can't go nowhere if y'all don't sing the same. I know that. Y'all wasn't singing the same. I know that. Everything y'all trying to tell me, I know already. I know how to. You know what, Mr. Jones? You know what? I ain't want to. What you want to do, man? What you want to do? Tell me. Let me know what you want to do.
Put the gun up, man.
What you want to do?
Put the gun up. Put the gun up.
What you want to do? I got my hand away. What you want to do?
Hey, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Jesse. No, Jesse. Jesse, no. No, Jesse. No, Jesse. Here, stop it, Bob. Stop it. Hold up.
Problem number 1, Mr. Jones got this old, bedazzled, rhinestone-encrusted jacket from a gas station or swap meet or something like that. Mr. Jones, you can't tell somebody. You can't tell Jesse. Everything y'all trying to tell me, I already know. You can't tell him that. That made him mad. Problem number 2, Jesse literally pulled a gun out on somebody in the church. Like, I know a lot of men.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see that? When he was coming, he actually showed off his gun, right? Let me show you guys. Did you see it? Watch this guy.
Miss Esther, look at my comment.
Melissa. Oh, holy fire. Did you see that?
Put the gun up, man.
Did you see that? He's showing off his... Look. Did you see that? He's
Put the
showing
gun
off his
up,
gun.
Put the gun up.
See,
Put the
that's
gun
how
up.
people just die.
Hey, come on, man.
Oh
Come on.
my gosh.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
This is about
Come on.
music.
Come on, Jesse. No, Jesse. Jesse, no. No,
Hey,
Jesse.
Kalesia.
No, Jesse.
Kalesia
Here, stop
409,
it.
Henry
Stop it.
Mars.
Hold up.
Problem number 1.
That's disgraceful.
Wow.
In my opinion, that's disgraceful.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
let's see the next one.
That's in
Oh,
Africa.
the holy bell of the Lord.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not the holy
Hallelujah.
gun now. It's the holy bell.
Holy bell.
Horseshoe.
Nanology says round one.
This is
Hi.
in Africa. Yes, this
I
is
don't
in
know.
Africa.
I don't know where this is. Oh, she doesn't want them
And then,
recording.
oh my gosh.
Let's see. I think there's a couple more.
Right in front of here. Yes. The agent, the person, Bishop What is the killer. Yes. The person who is yes. Yes. It must stop. Yes. Please let everybody.
So this is I think it's a church in I forgot the state, but it's in the US, but have a predominantly African population in this church. So you hear the African accents, but it's in the US.
Is it Texas? I know there's. Is it Texas?
It probably is. Probably. I'm not entirely sure. It's in New Jersey.
Oh, that's not that far from me, actually.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Go. Bishop Ross is not welcome here. It's not welcome. Everybody should go home. Everybody my mother. You have to go. Bishop coming to inside the church doing this. He didn't do nothing. No. You're wrong. What did you do? Who are you? Who the heck are you? Everybody should go home. Here to look at you woman and mother. Everybody should go. Everybody should go. Nothing will happen here today. Everybody should go home. Everybody should go home. Bishop Ross is not welcome to our church. You are not welcome to our church. We don't belong to ACNA. We don't practice the same faith. We don't believe in the same thing. Bishop Ross, go home. We wrote you series of letters not to come. You insisted in coming. You insisted. What the one? Shame to you. Shame to you. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You go home. You cannot hear me.
Wow.
Bro, let me go, man. Let's go. Bro, let me go, man. You ain't got a man handle me like this. Nigga, I got that man. No, let me go. Let me go, nigga. No, you ain't gotta touch me, man. You ain't gotta touch me, dog. I don't give a damn. You ain't gotta touch me, nigga. No, don't touch me. You don't know me, man. Don't touch me. No, don't touch me, man. Don't touch me, bro. One more time. Don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. Bro, get off of me, man. All right. One more time, my ass. Let's go.
This is literally throwing people out. I thought everyone was welcome in the house of God. Huh?
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me go. Let's get up out of here. Fake ass nigga. Record this shit. Record this fake ass nigga. This bitch ass. Let's get up out of here. Bad situation, baby. Bad situation.
So, if the rapture had happened, which of these will be raptured with Christ? I don't know.
Well, they're all full of demons, so they won't go.
So they're not going nowhere. Oh, what's that noise?
Michaela's got 2 apps open, so they're feeding back on each other.
Oh, is she? Has she got 2?
Close one down, Michaela.
Okay, I think it's better now. I'm gonna reset it.
Okay. So if the rapture happens, then none of these people are going anywhere. Well, it didn't clearly. The rapture clearly didn't happen. But if it had, considering that they tell you be ready at any time, Jesus can come anytime. Be prepared.
That's just another ridiculous religious concept. Is a rapture. It is absolutely idiotic, and how people believe this sort of stuff. You know, the rapture is, there's no rapture mentioned in the Bible. This is all another control thing that, you know, Jesus will come back. All the good the clothes will fall off and they'll raise to the sky, to the heaven.
Oh yeah.
Listen, let me tell you. So where I live, I very say putting my eye out for the best houses, the best cars, where those are located. If and when the rapture does happen and Jesus come and take his people, look, I'll be there just picking out the designer clothes. Go to the houses where everybody's been raptured. Just take over the house, take over their cars, take over the Maserati and the good cars. You see,
yeah, but
that's the one I
you
want.
You got to understand, if you're left on earth and you weren't raptured, then Jesus is going to hunt you down and kill you. That's what he's there for, to kill all the remaining who weren't raptured, because they're bad. And you're bad because you're rifling through other good people's clothes and driving their cars. Jesus will hunt you down, shoot you with his holy gun.
Allow me, come on. Allow me that.
Guns don't kill people, of course. People kill people with guns.
But this whole rapture thing, it's never going to happen. It's never going to. Never ever. It's unfortunately, people have died waiting for Jesus to return, and many Christians waiting for Jesus to return, and it's really sad. It's really sad. I think it's a feeling of the feeling of entitlement, that you think that because you believe in your mind it's the right religion, and so now you're a special kind of you're a special breed. And now you're waiting for your savior to come, right? And those ones who are not worthy, they get to stay here, but you get to go up there with your Jesus because you're somehow got the right. It's just the sense of entitlement. And sometimes I wonder, do these Christians realize that this thing, expecting Jesus to come, you realize that the earth, as you know it, you realize everyone will have to die. Right? These people think that you just magically go up to Jesus. Your body has to die a natural death in order for your, I don't know which one of it goes up. Is it the spirit? Is it the soul? What's the one that goes up? But children, they say all children will automatically be taken. So children haven't even lived life. right? They would have to experience a natural death to be able to. Whoever thought of that rapture thing didn't think it through. It's
Nope.
just crazy.
And then
Crazy.
as the other question is the babies. What
Well,
happened? The babies are going to be adults, children
they
when they
don't
get
like babies
raptured.
anyway. They don't like babies in that religion.
Nah.
So, because as the babies are born, straight away you're condemned. I've never known any wickedness like that. Right? A God that says he regrets making humans, and then okay, now we have to kill everyone. Not one. No. How do you keep 600? I mean, 600-year-old man who is close to his grave. How he lived to 600 years old, I don't know. But he's 600
750.
years old. Yeah. And now,
750 was Noah.
but no, the babies, they're just born. They don't know sin. They don't know this Nephilim. They didn't sleep. Oh no, you know what? I guess 600-year-old man is more important to God. Jesus Christ. The electric came.
This is the thing. They persecute children, newborns for this original sin.
Oh, yeah.
Which Jesus was supposed to have martyred himself for humanity, for the sin. Well, obviously, what did he do? Because he hasn't. Because if he's still born a sinner, Jesus did fuck all, did he? Silly hippie just bored a few people on a mountain with nonsense.
Rapture is Rapture is a doom metal band from Finland.
Band from Finland. Oh yeah. Yep,
Phil, you were going to say something.
Oh gosh, it will come back.
It's okay.
Oh, I got it.
Right.
Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine is the one that came up with this crap of original sin. Back in 18 was around for the 4th century. But he come up with this crap, the original sin, and blaming the woman. And blaming the woman too, because he actually, from what
the woman was
today, he was a womanizer.
Of course
he was a womanizer before he became a Christian.
Women were blamed the minute Eve passed that apple to Adam and said, "Eat it."
He was standing. He was standing right next to her. He was standing right next to her from that story, but yet he did not. What a moron!
But if you look at the Bible, if you read it, and if you read it like an up-to-date version of it, we'll take out all of thou shalt.
There is an up-to-date version of the Bible.
Well, there will be when I do the Gospel according to Dog.
I'm waiting.
The thing, if you look at the writers, these writers are the equivalent to bully nerds that live in their mum's basements. They never had a girlfriend, so they pick on women and they'll do this. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what the writers of the Bible were, just bullied nerds. Glasses.
I mean, look at that one called Paul. Never married, never knew what it was like to be with a woman. Well, maybe he was with women, I don't know, but he chose celibacy. Never mind him giving advice to people who are married. He's sitting there, writing his letters, giving advice. I don't understand it. 1 minute, he's trying to go and kill all the Christians. And next minute, he's now the spokesperson for Christianity, even giving advice. Advice to marriage, married people. I don't understand it.
There's not many creatures on this planet that are monogamous. Swans, maybe you can count them as they'll have one partner, but human beings are not. Human beings are not monogamous at all. And
no, dog. Come on.
Monogamy is forced onto human beings.
No, but some are monogamous, and some
people, will stay with the same
some
partner.
are asexual. They They're not.
But if you go back even to maybe a couple of generations ago, your grandparents who stuck together forever, you'll find, if you look at their lives logistically and in reality, they were fucking miserable. Monogamy is forced on us through religion. A lot of stuff is forced on us through religion. It's just there.
Yeah, but Doug, yes, I can agree with you, but my goodness, some of the people that practice polygamy, my grandfather, I was told he had 21 wives. Only recently, I was told, who told you he had 21? You got it wrong. He had 27. I'm like, hang on. There was me thinking 21 was more than one man could handle. And here, you're telling me he had 27, and everyone was laughing at me. Yeah, he had 27. By the time the man died, right? By the time my grandfather died, he had only the baby wife, the last one. That's the only one that stopped. The others were either dead, ran away, or been banished to some village somewhere. It was only the baby wife that was left. And if you think, well, he was a high chief, hence why he could do whatever he did. But he died a miserable death. And just that one woman out of the 27, none of them stopped. Whether dead or ran away or just
Well,
miserable.
It's like these Muslim martyrs. They martyr themselves for Allah. They'll go to the afterlife or heaven and receive 72 virgins. What the fuck would you do with 72 virgins? It could all be Bucks Fizz fans or something like that.
72
Jagugu fans.
No, but some I know some people, some of you here. I mean, if offered a heaven, 72 virgins would take it. Phil might take it.
Imagine the chatter in the back room.
Electric Kane will take it. Paul Scatler, I know Paul Scatler, he'll take it. Ian Davenport, of course. Steve McGray manager. Oh yes.
I'd never take it.
72 virgins. What are you on about?
Imagine what they're all saying about you. Imagine what them women are all saying about you in the other room.
Even I would take 72 virgins. Yes. Well, not necessarily virgins. I don't know what I'll do with those. But just give me them somehow. 72. They just wait on me, hand and foot. It doesn't have to be about sex, right? You can just have them just there, right? That's my idea of heaven.
Well, I live in Norfolk.
I'm just teasing.
I live in Norfolk. Good luck finding 72 fucking virgins in Norfolk.
You're not looking in the right places, dog.
I
think of that story.
Sexual repression on you. Oppression, it should be. And they sexually repress themselves. And you can't masturbate and things there. That'll drive any fucking person mental. This natural instinct that a human being has. It's just and religion. No wonder they're all fucking nut jobs.
Can I ask
what they need is a good lay or a good masturbate. Get that out your system and crack on. But they know if they masturbate once and they haven't done it, because you try getting teenagers out the bathroom. In reality, what are we doing?
Is that what they always do in the bath? No wonder the hot water is free. When that 20-year-old son of mine, when he's in that bathroom up there, sometimes of a morning, by the time he's done, we've run out of hot water, for goodness sake. I'm like, how is one skinny human? How are you in there? 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And hot water is okay.
Oh, this is it. He's got to flush away buckets full. buckets full of abuse.
Okay, this is the question. This is the question I have. Right? There's a story in the Bible where they're told to kill everyone, kill the men, kill the women, kill the babies, but keep the virgins for yourselves.
Yeah, that was Moses' trip to the Promised Land, to Israel, from when he freed the slaves of Egypt, which never happened. But yeah, he on his way, he had to the heathens. He had to kill kill the land, kill everything. And the children that resided within the wombs of their mothers, kill them. But yeah, keep the virgins or the worthy ones for themselves. It's just total nastiness.
So
you're talking about a convicted murderer anyway. That's what.
Oh yeah, he was a murderer. He was,
and a convicted murderer. Yeah.
He wasn't convicted. He was a murderer. Was he convicted?
He was an orphan, wasn't he? He was found in a basket on the River Nile.
Can you imagine?
Brought up to be a murderer.
Okay, so you know
he was
those
900 years old. He spoke to a bush that could also do stonemasonry.
Nobody saw it. That's a lie. That's a lie. He went up the mountain. Nobody saw any. But think about it: a god that hides in bushes.
Didn't even exist, Esther. You got to say, but yeah. The stories
all right.
are atrocious.
I know. It's listen. These people are better off that they didn't exist. Because if truly they did exist and these things happen, then it's either I'm the one who there's something wrong with my brain, there's something wrong with me, or but when I hear that they didn't exist, I can sleep better at night, right? Knowing that the contents of that book, right, they're not true. Because to believe those things. But let me ask my question. I'm trying to ask a question here. So they're told to keep virgins for themselves. How do they know who were virgins and who weren't virgins?
They asked Hyman, the Jew.
They asked who?
Hyman, the Jew. They asked them. They're a virgin. If he was there, they were all right. But Trish is right. God, all this is God sanctioned. God sanctioned abortions as well. You have to the women.
Oh God!
Is that your phone? Is that your phone?
Yeah, that was the phone.
Do you need to go?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Trisha, no. Trisha says,
not even that.
No, Trisha.
That's not holding even no, because remember the hymen is not no way of determining whether or not the person's a virgin.
Oh no.
Some persons already have the hymen might be opened, even if they have not had sex. It varies. So the hymen is not a good way of determining whether or not the person is a virgin.
So it's not a Jewish.
Some persons don't bleed, because they will look at the sheets. One of the things the whole concept was, look at the sheet, see if the person.
Oh yeah, there's blood on
the
sheet.
The consummation sheet. They used to be hung out.
But a lot of persons got wrongfully accused of not being a virgin because they didn't bleed. They don't always bleed, and the hymen, some hymens are actually open completely. So it's the who it was a doctor, a medical doctor, even a TED talk. I think about that, the misconceptions people have about
we've
this thing with the
seen
hymen.
it here. Yeah, we've seen it here, haven't we? Yeah, we
But
saw it here.
Yes.
a lot of them weren't as
Yeah.
clever as Mary.
Oh, Trisha is asking a very important question. She says, Phil, you eat yet? Yes, he has
Yes, I
eaten.
did.
He's
Yeah.
been munching away. He's been
Yeah,
munching
I
away.
remember. Yeah,
That's see,
occasionally I
Phil,
was munching.
that's your trademark now. Eh, Just if Phil ain't eating on the stream, then something is wrong. Trisha now asking Phil, you eat yet?
What she should have asked me is if I took my tabs yet. The tab that I supposed to take at night.
That's about right, Trisha. 12 years old is probably around puberty for a woman.
Oh my
The
goodness.
periods will start.
Wow.
Some women will start later. Some girls will start a lot earlier. I have a friend of mine, his daughter started having periods when she was 3.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, that's messed up. But yeah.
How is that?
It's just the body, isn't it? It's just the doctor just said it's just their body. She's just developed early.
Don't let the Muslim men get a hold of that
Fear
baby.
not.
Please.
Please not. Ooh.
Well, it wasn't just look, Trisha's daughter was 9, so very
Yeah,
young.
my sister was 10 and I was 11.
Well, once period starts, then
That's it. She's
the
ready.
body is ready for
She's
procreation.
good to go.
Yeah. Well, obviously, society has deemed it now. They're children, and they are children. Well, back then,
was okay. Mary, yeah, because for Mary to get pregnant, she would have hit puberty, right? Okay, all right. Because
Mary had sex. Simple as that.
yeah, I mean that's easier to believe now. Than
And
to
of
think
course
that
she did.
a ghost overpowers you. And come on,
She was
man.
clever, you see, because for a woman to have sex out of wedlock back then, it was wrong, and they were killed for it, stoned to death usually. But she was clever and say, "Oh, go."
How did she just let that pass? How did
she didn't
Yeah.
exist? She didn't exist anyway. But
Of course, I mean,
but it just adds to the ridiculousness of what the Bible is, a book of
fairy tales.
I mean, you mentioned the Nephilim earlier.
Oh my God.
Now, Nephilim were giants. You see videos
but
of bones.
Doug, this listen, this Nephilim, right? These were God's angels. They were up in the heavens with God, and they were looking down and wanting to fuck, right? They're looking at the women down here and thinking, wow, they're beautiful down there. Let's go down there and go for
You're talking
these
the
ladies.
Nephilim. They were the Sodom and Gomorrah angels that
And then-
dragged all the bad people out in Sodom.
They come down just for the sole purpose of having sex. I mean, where was God when this was happening?
No, that
And
was
then
that was a
God-
ruse. That was
No,
a
and God,
ruse by God.
no. His angels come down, have sex with the ladies. They have those Nephilim babies. Now God is angry. God is vexed. But unfortunately, his anger is directed at the wrong persons. He's angry now with everybody. Humans didn't instigate that sex. They didn't go up there, go looking for his boys. His boys came down. What the hell? And now you kill everyone. But no, he didn't bother to kill those angels that came. I mean, it's sick. No.
Chester,
No.
if that pastor said that about my daughter, I'd burn his church to the ground. I'd have burnt his church to the ground. And I'd happily have gone to prison for it. For arson. What a disgusting thing to say. A 9-year-old girl is rape.
Read Teresa says in Corinthians, it says a young girl once starts her period can engage in sex.
Where it's in Corinthians? No.
Yeah,
Please.
I don't know.
I don't think I've seen that scripture. Trisha, where?
Yes, we're in Corinthians. Yeah. Which
Oh
chapter?
my God! There's a scripture.
Oh no,
Even, but
this
is
was
what the pastor said. I asked pastor even she's 9. He said, yeah, even if she's 9, I suspect that's what she's in. He said, yes, she's right.
That's about
Gosh.
that's about her own daughter. That's what a pastor said about Tresha's daughter.
Oh my God!
And that's disgusting. What a horrible individual to say something like that.
Yeah.
But no, that was normal practice in humanity. Once a period is,
But
once a girl is ready.
Teresa says he was watching. Watching what? She said he was watching after that. Says my daughter started at 9.
Oh
and
no,
then
that
did
God,
that, and then
God was
oh,
watching
God
as
was watching.
his boys were having sex with the girls here.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, and Trisha, I did see that you said that you were you were in like the Hebrew Israelites. That does sound like something they would say.
Okay, so that passage is the Corinthians, right? It says, but if any man thinks he is behaving improperly towards his virgin, if she is past the flower of youth, if she's past the flower of youth, and thus it must be, let him do what he wishes. He does not sin. Let them marry.
Well,
Nevertheless,
age wasn't an issue then.
He who stands steadfast in his heart, having no necessity but has power over his own will, and has so determined in his heart that he will keep his virgin, does well. So he'll keep his virgin. So then, he who gives her in marriage does well, but he who does not give her in marriage does better. Wow.
I'm like, it's giving rape.
Oh my God.
It's giving pedophilia. It's giving assault.
Oh no.
It's giving misogyny. It's giving all of that.
Oh gosh. That's disgusting. I've read that scripture time and time again, but for some reason, it just didn't hit me. Oh my. You all know what's going to happen next, right? I'm going to have to do a short or a video or something.
Christianity is horrific, atrocious, immoral. It is a nasty religion, and although some of it has tried to be progressive, most of it is non-progressive, and they still believe in this shit. That was going back in the Bronze Age, and yeah, I can understand that. Back then, there was different rules and regulations, but now obviously morality is said, a child is a child, even if she has stopped her parents. They put an age limit on what a child is now. It was obviously she was once she had the period, she's ready to procreate.
Who wrote the book of Corinthians, by the way? I'm curious. Because next thing you know, the Christians would tell you that it is not God that said it, that it was whoever, the one who wrote it. He was the one. God never said that. That would be the excuse.
The irony, because that's your holy book. So they do say that God says it. That's the thing that kills me. Is that I'm like, when they use it's giving. I'm like, they like to use the Bible when it's convenient and when it's a weapon. But when you're reading the passages verbatim, now they want to say it's not God. But isn't this God's word? So God did say, God told Paul to put that into the book, according to y'all. So that is God's word.
Who wrote Corinthians? I'm curious.
Well, it says that Paul wrote most of the Bible and most of the New Testament.
New Testament. Paul the Apostle to the Corinthians. Oh, abbreviation Corinthians. Either of New Testament letters or epistles addressed by St. Paul the Apostle to the Christian community that he had founded in Corinth. Apostle Paul. He was the brain behind Christianity.
Well,
He said
yeah.
Paul wrote this letter to correct what he saw as erroneous views in the Corinthian church. Several sources inform Paul of conflicts within the church at Corinth. Apollos, a letter from the Corinthians, the household of Chloe, and finally Stephanus and his two friends who had visited. So Paul's letters was to sort out conflict, the fighting. Oh, what are we on about? We're talking about fighting in the church anyway. So,
Well, you got to bear in mind that Jesus was long dead after this, before this.
As to check the chat there, there's a reference I found.
Right.
A link.
Yeah, Jesus
given
was
the
long.
NIV.
Okay.
Well, they'll all say different things, especially passages like that, which sort of in this day and age, you do promote paedophilia. So these are what these different versions of the Bible, they try and address these things to try and make them sound better, but they're still exactly what they are, and they, changing a few words does not make it okay.
But they see they're trying the English Standard Version change. They don't use the word virgin. They put towards his betrothed, trying to, I suspect, make it seem as if, trying to be not even euphemistic, but covering it. But it actually says, because most of the translations use the word virgin. So if any man thinks he's acting improperly towards the virgin he's engaged to, if she is getting beyond the usual age for marriage, this is CSB, and he feels he should marry, he can do what he wants. He's not sinning, they can get married.
But what about her, though? What about her?
About her, yeah.
Huh? What about her?
The girls,
it's about him, not about her.
Second-class citizens. The girls had no say. The second-class citizens. Look what we'll look at Mohammed, the prophet to Allah. He married a 6-year-old. They're okay with that, but look what they're doing with their women at the moment, and they've stopped women going to school. They stopped girls going to school. Girls should not be educated.
To school is haram. It's haram.
Iran, yeah.
Let's keep them at home. Oh.
Yeah, they're not allowed to go to college, or they're treated dreadfully. Covered from head to toe in them burkas. Yeah. It's a sad thing that you can't do anything proactive about it. If you go against the church,
you're bullying.
You just got to keep.
You're attacking.
Yeah,
you're
bullying.
Yeah.
You've got to keep plodding on as what we do now, and just got to keep plodding on, and hopefully awareness will spread. Hopefully. But you got to understand, a lot of these people, a lot of these like rich American pastors, these televangelists, and the likes of Ken Ham and Ken Hovind, and even like your Matt Powell, who's like Ken Hovind's bum buddy. They know a lot what they spout is absolutely ridiculous. It's nonsense, and they know it, but they make a good living out of it. They make a lot of money out of it because they have a lot of followers. And then and you get to these stages. I mean, look at all these cults that have had mass suicides and things like that. People are harmed through religion, and they're harmed quite badly as well. And it's a shame that the whole planet is being dragged back, educationally wise. It's been dragged back hundreds of years because of church say so, of what the church has done.
It's absolutely crazy, in my opinion. It's like people who believe the Bible, you are choosing to go back to a time when we a time that wasn't modern, a time that there was nothing like human rights. You're choosing that over what we have now in 2023. Somebody would rather believe a book that tells you that a virgin got pregnant by a ghost, that donkeys talked, snakes somehow started to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
A guy lived in a whale for a year.
Oh, no. It was
No
3 days.
Wi-Fi.
Phil. Sorry, not Phil. Doug, it was 3 days.
Doesn't
Not
matter.
for a
Doesn't
year.
matter. Oh, that makes more sense then. That makes it more believable.
No, but Doug, did you know it was God who provided the fish? The story actually says that God was the one that brought that fish to the spot where Jonah was thrown over. It was God. God brought the fish. A
Well,
God that sits up on his mighty throne and now is ordering fishes to go and swallow people.
yeah, shellfish are inherently evil. And that
Hey,
just
God.
sounds to me that you remember
Oh
the
my goodness.
aforementioned nerd living in his mum's basement who was bullied, one of the Bible writers, obviously has a seafood allergy.
Who
And he
has a
thought
seafood
that's evil.
allergy?
I'm going to put that in my book. I'm going to put that in my storybook.
Are you still writing that book?
What?
The gospel according to Doug.
Oh, no, we'll do that as we go along.
Oh, okay. As we go along, okay.
Go along, just read it and change it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to write it. Obviously, it'll write itself. It's already written.
Oh,
I'm just going to bring it up to date, make
there
it
we
more
go.
realistic.
There we go. The Bible needs updating. It does.
Show the
Needs
absolute
updating.
horrors. Don't
What?
dress up the horrors.
What's
Don't dress and try and make them nicer. Actually, just write the horrors of what it is.
What's Trisha talking about? Talk about the dildo in the Bible.
That's an Old Testament passage.
Ezekiel 17. What's happening in Ezekiel? Hang on. Ezekiel 17. Wagwan. In Ezekiel. What happened in Ezekiel 17? The thing with the Bible is there's
Well,
some
the Old
things that
Testament is very depraved sexually.
wait, the word of the Lord came
Yeah.
to me. Son of man, set forth an allegory and tell it to the Israelites as a parable. Oh, so God tells you to set an allegory and tell it to the
Mm-hmm.
Israelites as a parable.
The parable.
Interesting. Say to them, this is the sovereign Lord says, an eagle, a great eagle with powerful wings, long feathers, and full plumage of varied colors came to Lebanon.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, I don't know what verse.
As I going here for Karen.
Yeah, and
Again, yeah, I know y'all didn't soon finish.
yes.
So see y'all later. This has
All
been
right,
great.
Phil.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Good
I don't
night.
know what verse. What verse am I supposed to be? Trisha, what verse? Dildo in Ezekiel? No, I need to see that one. Where are we on about? Trisha. 16, 17. Okay, let's see here. No, it says 1617. Pharaoh, with his mighty army and great horde, will be of no help to him in war when rams are built and siege works erected to destroy many lives. Hmm. Mm, that's not a. Is this 16? Hang on. Oh. 16, 17. Sorry, this is. I'm reading 17. Okay, 16. All right, let's see. 16, 17. This is interesting. Let's see. What's this? Okay. You also took the fine jewelry I gave you, the jewelry made of my gold and silver, and you made for yourselves male idols and engaged in prostitution with them.
I hear misogyny.
No, hang on. It says you took
It's
fine
already
jewelry.
there.
You took fine
Continue.
jewelry that I gave you, and the jewelry made of my gold and silver, and you made male idols and engaged in prostitution. How can you engage in prostitution? I thought prostitution was you getting paid for you get paid for
For
sex.
sex work. That's what
So
prostitution is.
how is an idol that you made yourself? How are you prostituting with an huh? Huh? How are you able to you know what guys? It's uh I don't know. I don't know. How do you prostitute with something you made for your own pleasure? I don't know how that works. Well, guys, whew, thank you so much. This has been good. Unfortunately, the fighting in the Jesus centers will continue. It will continue because they worship an imaginary God. I mean, I can say that boldly because the Christian God, there's no
It's
evidence.
imaginary. It's adult Santa Claus.
There's no evidence for that God. And these people have sadly believed that he exists. The fighting continues. It will continue time and time again.
Well, Michaela was right about the misogyny, especially in the Old Testament. Most of it was written in Hebrew anyway, because it is the Hebrew. Most of the Old Testament is I think the first 5 books of the Old Testament is basically the Torah, word for word. And Orthodox Jews now treat their women dreadfully. I mean, really dreadfully. They have to wear like special clothes, special wigs. When they have sex, it's through a hole in the sheet. They're covered from head to toe, and it's basically just for procreation only. And they have a special sheet, a sex sheet with a hole in it.
Sex sheet.
That is terrible.
What's the hole for? What's the hole for though? What's the hole for?
The hole goes round the groin, so the man just gets on top through the hole, does his bit. Does he not have to look at his wife? Does he not have to cuddle afterwards?
Where does that happen? Where does that happen?
This happens in.
He said in Judaism.
This is Orthodox.
Oh my God.
Jews. When a woman is on her period, she's locked away. She's locked in a room for the whole week, or the 5 or 6 days she's having a period.
It was one time I used to struggle.
This is true.
I used to have some real heavy periods, right?
Well, that
would last 9-10 days.
Yeah,
so they would have locked me up
as long
for
as
that long.
As long as the uterine line.
I'm convinced that the Abrahamic sons hate women. I am convinced of that. They had to hate women to write these books. They had to hate women. Period.
Well,
but Michaela, is the women that will fight you?
My early comments of when I said about women being strong, a lot stronger than men. but not physically. We know that but a lot stronger than men, and they knew this, so they had to knock them down a peg. So they just made them evil and horrible.
Whoever wrote these books deserves the.
They were nerds who probably couldn't get a girlfriend back then.
I'm like a 2,000-year book, and this is what we're making laws with to essentially relegate people's bodies, to take away people's rights. A 2,000-year book based off of an imaginary god, and I'm like, in a man named Jesus who walked. I cannot stand Christians, and I cannot stand the Abrahamic religions. I really do mean that.
Obviously, these books they do benefit men a great deal.
Yes, it
and
does.
they obviously make women the lower class
Property, like
but
property.
even back then, animals have a ritual for mating. We all do. Even us now, maybe
Dogs are treated better than women. Probably would be treated better in those days. Seriously.
Absolutely. But even then, this is why it's probably written by virgins who couldn't get women.
Incels. That we call them incels today.
Well, yeah, we call them incels.
That particular.
But even
sorry,
now we have our
to...
rituals. A guy will dress up and put his bit of aftershave on and do his little bit by the bar, have his banter, and the women will put their makeup on and dress up. It's the same as it's a mating ritual for us, but
it is,
and this has gone throughout human history. You've always had to have that mating ritual. It wasn't just grab the first. The whole of life would be a lot better if we were dogs, if we behaved like dogs. Go in a pub, sniff a woman's ass, shag her out the back, be done with it. Not say another word. Howl to the moon, and then go back and finish your drink. Not even look at it.
Because we're humans, just get yourself ready for a lot of child support payments.
Well, no, religion has set these ground rules down for humanity.
I'm like, and Miss Esther, don't forget, don't let a man abuse you, because I'm like, because you're not allowed to divorce your husband.
Oh, please, let's not go there. Hey, Mystique. Just going that scripture, I just read it again. Satan just brought it back. It says, if anyone is worried that he might not be acting honorably, listen to this. If anyone is worried that he might not be acting honorably towards the virgin he is engaged to, and if his passions are too strong and he feels he ought to marry, he should do as he wants. He is not sinning. They should get married. Hang on a second. So if he's the one not acting honorably towards her, it's his passions. They're too strong. He should do whatever. Wait, what about the woman in this scenario? What about her feelings? What about what she wants? Huh? What a woman wants, what a woman wants. Where is it here?
Well, this is where men are idiots, as I say. This is because women are very complicated. And they're complicated because they're a lot stronger than men. And men can't deal with that. They're ignorant. It makes men totally ignorant.
I'm like, the men who wrote the Bible were a bunch of misogynistic pigs, and they were unhinged to write this book.
Michaela, as I say, it sounds like it does sound like as a psychiatrist would say, it sounds like these people who are against women are normally people who can't have women. These people who say, they
not the original incels.
They are the original ones, yeah.
They'll inbox an attractive woman saying, I want to fuck you and do this to you. And
those ones. That's it.
And that sort of thing.
Wait, let me get a hold of you. They say, let me get a hold of you. I will shift your womb.
Yeah.
By the time I'm done with you, I will I will shift you. They get with you. They can't even last 1 minute.
10 minutes is actually me being nice. I'm like,
Wait, what?
let's
Did
say,
you say 10?
I'm like, I was
Come on,
about to say,
Michaela.
I was like, why am I saying that? They cannot last 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I'm like, more like 2 minutes. I'm like, I don't want
Do you
no
know?
2 minute man. 2 minute man. That's what it is.
Do you know?
More likely on a psychological scale, they can't even get it up.
Do you know someone I know was online dating, right? Her and this person were going back and forth. You know, a few dick pics shared between them, of which I saw it, and I was like, whoa, that's it. And she would say, oh my goodness, how am I going to handle that, right? Anyway, they meet up, and then when she comes back from her trip, we never hear anything of him again. Oh shit. What happened? Well, guess what? Not him. Apparently, it was someone else's picture he was sending to her. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're gonna hear you.
He was sending someone else's picture.
Oh, they do, because they won't send their own.
No, because his wasn't even, well, according to this, what I was told, because I wasn't there. Turns out his didn't even match up to what he was sending. Wait, why are you sending that? If you know it's not, what's it? Listen, I can't understand it.
They send it because they're inadequate in their own lives, and it's a power and control thing again. That's all it is. They feel powerful by texting some random girl filth. And they'll say, "Oh, I'm doing it. I'll be doing it while my wife and kids. I'm doing this. My wife and kids are asleep, so I'm texting you." And they've got no wife and kids. They've got nothing. These are what they dream of and what they want. They haven't got that. It's what they haven't got. And a lot of it's jealousy. A lot of it's just it's something that they want.
So wait, no, I think these are the people that
No,
they
Miss
usually,
Masani, they always send dick pics that belong to because they're not.
Oh, Miss Masani, hello. There's some. I don't know if some of you have seen videos of these people that go and catch pedophiles. When these pedophiles, they're sitting behind there texting, thinking that they're talking to a 13-year-old. Sting operations, right? And then they get caught. I sometimes catch a few of these. I like to go watch sickening, these sick people, sick in the head people, right? And when you see most of these people on a good day, you look at them and think, really, you were trying to go and sleep with a 12, 13-year-old. Look at you. No one would touch you with a badge paw. No, I don't know what it is about these men that keep looking for these young children. Is it because nobody would have them? So maybe listen. I don't want to get in the mind of such people. I would never try to understand that. I just think it's sick.
Well, I wouldn't send dick pics, especially now. I don't want to spread disappointment throughout the female race.
Spread disappointment.
I'm screaming.
Dog.
Look at me and go,
Dog, nobody's going to be disappointed.
Okay, looks like
you have other tools. You
I'll tell
have
you what,
other tools that can help. Come on.
I know what would happen if I sent dick pics. The button mushroom industry would boom. They think, oh, fancy button mushrooms for a change.
Oh, you know what? I've missed you, dog. As much as I love you, and would love to continue. No, I'm actually tired. I need to go get some sleep. Oh, but this has been good. But I'll be back tomorrow, though. I'll
Humans
be
are
back
sick. You
tomorrow.
know this. And I'm not just going to blame men. There's some sick women out there as well.
I know Trisha has missed you. Yes.
I'm like
See, you just said it.
internalized
Yeah,
misogyny.
I miss it exactly. I do you. Yes. You can't send dead items. You can.
I am screaming.
You can send dead item. Why? It's yours, your property. Why? Send
Well,
it.
let
Send
the
it.
Christians tell it. I'm like, and
She's
it
talking
will
about my
rise
ding
in
dong.
3
That's
days.
Yeah, but anyone. This is me in my head. Anyone who gets with you now, dog, already knows, should have an idea what they're getting into. They already know that you have what's happened to you. No fault of yours, right? And some people are they're quite happy to try other things, right? This thing, sex, I think, is a spectrum, right? It's not all about sticking one into. There are other ways of doing these things.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is where
girls, I can lick my eyebrows and I can breathe through my ears. By the way, woo.
You know what? There was me trying to sell. I'm trying to. I was really trying.
I have to
Right?
make a joke of it.
In case there's anyone listening to me who thinks, I like the sound of this single man. Yes, he has his little, things going on, but I don't mind, right? And we've seen you on here. We know what you look like. And I was just here trying to sell your market to the people, and you just killed it.
You just had to kill it, though.
Jesus. What did he say again? He says, what did you
he said
say
he
again?
could breathe through his mouth and hear and through his ears is what he said.
I said I can lick my eyebrows and I can breathe through my ears.
Ladies, if you want someone who can lick his eyebrows and breathe through his ears, well, he's single, and yes,
I'm not afraid of the dark.
and he lives in Norfolk, right? Norfolk, am I right?
I'm not on the lookout for anything.
Oh my goodness.
But Trisha Starr,
never mind. So listen,
according to Trisha Starr, I was foundational to your channel. Apparently,
Dog, you need to let the people know where to contact you. You just be very surprised. Never say never. There might be someone out there, and that's their kink. That's the thing that gets them. Because let me tell you, some people have some very weird kinks.
Oh yeah,
and the things that get some people off. I was watching a video of a lady. She's a phone sex worker, right? This lady, phone sex worker, and one of the persons that she was talking to on the phone said, "Can you fake sneeze?" Fake sneeze. And she recorded herself doing it. She was like, achoo, achoo, achoo.
Oh, Jesus had a foot fetish, didn't he?
So, you just never know.
Jesus had a foot fetish. He used to love washing them men's feet.
Now, Jesus loved. Jesus wore dresses, so.
And he
loved
washing men's feet.
Him that
rub oil in the feet. Oh,
wearing dresses all over the place.
Pervert.
Mystique Tiny Jones says she'll bring her leash.
Leash for what?
I know, I was laughing at that. Tina Jones.
You know, I get in. What's the leash for? What we doing with leashes? What we doing? What? Somebody tell me. Can I come?
Probably a dog leash.
Can I come? Can I join in?
You can come and watch me stick fingers in me.
One more sneeze, please. Achoo! Let's see. Trisha says, Esther, I want to tell you about one crazy fetish was caught up in. It pays big time. Trisha. 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 Trisha, hit me up. Hit me up. Did you say it pays big time?
I'm like, and also, where's my coin? Hit me up too. I'm gonna be nuts.
Michaela, you know I will hook you up. Just Trisha
I
needs to hook
know.
us up.
Let's get this coin real quick.
Trisha, listen. You know, in my about when you log off here, my about section, right? I've got my email link and my I think my Instagram link I got there and Twitter link. It's all there. So just contact. Well, I'm not too much.
And Miss Esther, I recently
I'm not
found
always
your
on Twitter.
TikTok, by the way.
You found my TikTok?
You came up on my FYP on TikTok. I'm like, oh, Miss Esther.
I've been
You've been TikToking.
I've been creating some problems for some people over there on TikTok.
I'm like, honey, the Christians over there, they be end up in their feelings because
the Christian love over there is real.
Honey, I'm like, the amount of trouble I've gotten into on Christian channels over there.
Goodness. I've had them coming in my inbox. One person just all he wrote is "fuck you."
Yeah.
Another one just said, "What was it?" They said, "I would suggest you stop talking about Jesus or something." I'm like, "What? Who are you?"
I would talk about Jesus anyone. And to the people that said "fuck you," tell them, that's not very Christian-like, and you don't participate in adultery.
The thing is, though, Michaela, it is very Christian-like.
It is. I know, but I'm using their logic.
Doug, you can push me. I have to go round in a wheelchair now. So you're welcome to push me. And I don't pee on tree. Well, I don't pee at all, to be fair. Anymore.
Mystique says, me and her can walk you together.
Yeah.
You can walk the dog together.
I'm already wagging my tail.
Wow. This is really, I'm like the African Humanist channel I'm like after dark. This is what it's getting.
Oh, this channel's a mess. Why do you think we love it so much? This channel's a mess.
No. I'm trying to make the channel holy. So I'm going to anoint my channel, cover it in the blood of Jesus.
And the holy toast.
Yes, and next time when I come live tomorrow, we will start off with 10 minutes prayer, 10 minutes dedication to the Lord, the Lord dog, and what else? Oh, guys, come fasting tomorrow. And do not forget your 10%. That's very important. That should have come first, actually. 10% first before anything else. And your 10% is not after tax, it's before tax.
Honey, it's not tax at all. That's the thing.
Aye. Anyway, guys, listen. Trisha Star, if you don't hit me up, there's going to be problems. There's one meme I've been hearing. Oh, I don't want peace. I want war. Something like that. Someone
very Christian like.
I don't want peace. I want war. Anyway, guys, this has been fun. Doug.
Hello.
It's glad to have you back.
It's good to be back, to be fair.
Yes, you did say you were going to come on Thursday. So yes,
yeah, well,
you're a man of your word.
I need to come more often.
No, but Michaela, you're usually on the other side there.
I am.
Ugh, that's a cesspit. That one there, that place. Mm-mm-mm.
I'm like, it's one.
That
It's ooh.
I had to get myself out of a room today. The title was something about marital rape.
Wait, there
And
was a room about that today?
and the men, oh, so it was gross.
It must have been Nigerian
So
Clubhouse.
many men. Yes, it was. And the men were saying there is no such thing as marital rape.
I am just
Mm,
that is disgusting. I'm like, I remember a year ago, I was a friend sent me a clubhouse friend sent me something in my back channel,
Oh
and
God.
I was actually spreading like a petition to the UN to make marital rape illegal in Nigeria.
Yes. You've got, can you send it to me?
I don't have it anymore. It
Oh
was a year ago.
no.
I was sharing it all over every room I was in, every room
Why
that
did
I
you send
did.
it to me?
Because you had that known I was on Clubhouse yet at that point.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Because it needs, something needs to be done. Something really, because it's a real problem. It's a real
It is.
problem.
And then I was also there was also I think something also about FGM in
No,
Nigeria as
yes,
well.
yes. There's still places in Nigeria that do the FGM. Yes, it's still a practice that goes on. Yes. Anyway, guys, I love you all and thank you for, allowing us to have a space where we can talk about any and everything. No holes barred, just talk. We can break down these are the conversations that a lot of us could not have when we're in church. We're told that you mustn't question, you can't express doubt, you can't, I mean, but here we can talk about any and everything, right? So I thank you all. Thank you all for engaging and just being yourselves, just being here with us. It's a journey of walking away from religion. Well, for most of us, not all of us. I know some maybe never were religious at all, but for some of us, this means a lot.
And I
When I
wouldn't
turn
want you
this
to go
off,
away young.
when I turn this off, hardly anyone in my everyday life I really can speak about these things because most of them are still in the religion. They're still. So yes, I do appreciate having this space. Mm.
And I appreciate the spaces that you curate because it's the same with me. Most of my family is still religious. I'm outside of like a few friends. A lot of them, I don't even speak about religion with them. But I think they're catching on that I'm atheist. and, the,
Oh,
re- and the reason I feel like okay, so I have an auntie. She's a pastor, and
okay.
and the thing is, hold on. I'm like, she was trying to praise Jesus one day, and she saw my face with disgust.
Oh no.
Because the thing is, I'm very much a Cancer, so all of my emotion it shows on my face.
Oh
Like
gosh.
I'm very expressive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My facial expressions give me away. It's so bad. Like my facial expressions give me away. We were in the car, and she started going on one of her things. I kid you not, my face gave it away. She's like, you don't love Jesus no more. I was like, I'm not having this
Love
conversation with
Jesus.
you.
Love Jesus, please. Well, Michaela, thank you so much. Everyone, I thank you all. I will see you all tomorrow. And Doug, thanks for joining. And
Yes,
yes.
thanks for having me on, and Chat, thanks for the kind
Are
words.
you
It's
are you
good to
going back
be
to work? Are you going to go back to work, Doug?
me.
Yes.
No, I've given up work now.
You have? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
I can't get about at the moment. I'll probably go back to work. I have to tend to bowel and bladder care at the moment because
Right.
I need to get on top of that.
Okay.
It's like Buckaroo down there. Literally is like Buckaroo. I don't know whether it's going to go back into my kidneys or explode in front of me. So I need to get on top of that and get a regime going, which could take up to 6, 7, 8 months.
Okay.
It was all right in hospital because you were sort of pestered when you needed to do these things. But obviously I need to. But yeah, no, you'll be seeing a lot more of me now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now that you're not at work, so I could find a few good uses for you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I might make a good doorstop at the moment.
All right, guys. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Night.
you for
Don't forget to like
I'm
the
ready.
stream. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Yes. Good night.